Welcome to Balance Your Life, your guide to personal development topics. Hit subscribe and the bell icon to join our community and transform your life today. Let's get started. Procrastination isn't about laziness. It's an emotional response to tasks that feel overwhelming, boring, or difficult. Studies reveal that our brains seek immediate pleasure, which is why we choose short-term rewards like watching TV over completing important work. For instance, a student might delay studying due to anxiety about failing, opting for a quick dopamine boost from social media instead. The key to breaking this cycle is recognizing that procrastination is a coping mechanism, not a personality trait. Understanding this helps us shift our habits toward action instead of avoidance. Every decision we make is influenced by how our brain perceives effort and reward. The more difficult a task seems, the more likely we are to avoid it. This is why starting is often the hardest part. Neuroscientists explain that our brain operates in two modes, the thinking mode and the doing mode. The longer we stay in thinking mode, the more resistance we create. A practical example is Newton's first law: an object at rest stays at rest. This applies to us as well. The trick is to initiate movement, even in a small way, because action fuels more action, making momentum easier to sustain. Enjoyed the video so far? If you have, hit that like button and check out the products and books in the description. It really supports the channel and lets me know you appreciate the content. Let's get back to it. A fixed mindset tells us that we either have talent or we do not, while a growth mindset believes that effort leads to improvement. This distinction is crucial for overcoming procrastination because when we believe our abilities can expand, we are more likely to start tasks, even when they are difficult. Take Thomas Edison, who failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. He saw failure as feedback rather than proof of incompetence. By adopting this perspective, we shift our focus from avoiding failure to embracing progress. The more we see challenges as opportunities to grow, the easier it becomes to take action. Self-discipline isn't just about willpower. It's about creating systems that reduce the need for it. Research from Stanford reveals that people with high self-control don't resist temptation more often. They simply avoid situations that require it. Athletes, for example, don't rely on motivation to train. They build routines that make discipline automatic. The key is to remove friction. If you struggle to exercise, lay out your workout clothes the night before. If you avoid deep work, schedule distraction-free focus blocks. The easier you make it to start, the more likely you are to follow through consistently. One of the most effective ways to beat procrastination is using the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins. When you feel hesitation, count down from 5 and take action before your brain talks you out of it. This interrupts the habit of delaying and forces you into motion. Another strategy is the 2-minute rule, where you commit to just 2 minutes of a task. Often once you start, you continue. Imagine a writer struggling to begin a book. Instead of aiming for 1,000 words, they start with a sentence. Small actions bypass resistance and make the task feel more manageable. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in productivity. When we accomplish something, no matter how small, our brain releases dopamine, making us feel good and encouraging us to keep going. This is why breaking large goals into micro wins is so effective. Instead of writing a novel, commit to a paragraph. Instead of running 5 miles, start with a 5-minute jog. The key is to build a success streak. Olympic athletes use this principle by tracking small improvements daily. Over time, these small wins accumulate, making progress feel effortless rather than overwhelming. In a world filled with constant notifications, focus has become a rare skill. Studies show that it takes an average of 23 minutes to regain deep concentration after an interruption. This is why minimizing distractions is essential. One strategy is the Pomodoro technique, where you work for 25 minutes and then take a short break. This helps train your brain for sustained attention. Another approach is designing your environment for success. If your phone tempts you, place it in another room. If social media distracts you, use website blockers. When you take control of your environment, focus becomes second nature. Most people think they struggle with time management, but it's often energy management. If you tackle demanding tasks when your energy is low, procrastination can set in. Research shows our willpower is strongest in the morning and fades as the day goes on. That's why high performers organize their day around their energy levels. Writers, for instance, often do creative work in the morning when their mind is fresh and save routine tasks for later. By syncing tasks with your natural energy cycles, you can boost productivity without feeling drained. Fear of failure is a major cause of procrastination, particularly for perfectionists. Many delay starting because they fear not producing something perfect. Ironically, perfectionism often results in inaction rather than excellence. Take entrepreneurs like Jeff Bezos, who started Amazon as a simple online bookstore. He didn't wait for the perfect version. He began, improved along the way, and built one of the world's most successful companies. The key is embracing the idea that progress beats perfection. Taking imperfect action is always better than waiting for the perfect moment. Accountability significantly boosts follow-through rates. When we share our goals with someone, we feel a social obligation to complete them. This is why having an accountability partner or joining a mastermind group works so well. For instance, studies show that people who exercise with a friend are more likely to stick with their routine. Apps like Habitica and Beeminder turn goal tracking into a game, making consistency more engaging. The more you externalize your commitment, whether through a mentor, a tracking system, or public accountability, the harder it becomes to procrastinate, and the easier it is to stay on track. Building habits and setting up a system for long-term drive is essential since motivation fluctuates. One effective method is using identity-based habits from James Clear's Atomic Habits. Instead of saying, "I want to write a book," tell yourself, "I am a writer." This subtle shift reinforces consistent action. Another strategy is reward stacking, where you pair an enjoyable activity with a less appealing task. For instance, only allow yourself to listen to a favorite podcast while exercising. By integrating rewards and identity shifts, motivation becomes automatic rather than fleeting. Procrastination isn't a character flaw, but a habit that can be broken with the right strategies. By understanding why we procrastinate, rewiring our mindset, and using techniques like the 5-second rule, micro wins, and accountability systems, taking action becomes natural rather than forced. The key takeaway is this: start before you feel ready. Action creates clarity, builds momentum, and transforms effort into achievement. Right now, choose one task you have been putting off and take a small step toward completing it. The faster you start, the sooner you gain control over your time, productivity, and life. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who could benefit from what we've discussed today. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights into personal development. Until next time, take care of your mind, body, and spirit.